What's good, Fit Friends? It's me, Migo D, and welcome back to the channel, Fit Friends. In this week's episode, I'll be teaching you guys my very favorite healthy recipe, which is a protein pizza. I'm a big fan of pizza ever since before, even when I started lifting. It's really good. So I thought to myself, hey, why not try to integrate the best of both worlds wherein I can eat pizza, be healthy, and gain muscle all at the same time. So the ingredients that we'll be using for this protein pizza recipe is very simple. First, I'll be using a pita bread. This is, I think, 12 inches. So this is gonna be our crust. Next, this is a very important part of the recipe. This is the Vega Super Slim 60% less fat cheese. So the reason why this is very important is because while we do want to have a high protein pizza, we want to keep the fat macronutrient in the lower end. So it's ideal, especially if you're trying to diet, to have a less fat variety of cheese. But if you can consume higher calories, let's say you're probably bulking or off season, then maybe the low fat cheese option is something that you can adjust. So you can get like the regular cheese and still have the high protein pizza. But take note, it's also gonna increase in calories since it's also gonna increase in the fat macronutrients. Additional info, guys, the Vega Super Slim cheese, I bought it in Rustan's. If my memory is correct, it is around 240 pesos. Kinda pricey, I know. So something to consider, but again, if you're on a diet, low calories, you're really craving for a pizza, I think it's worth the shot because it's 12 slices and per pizza you would need at minimum 3 slices. But for my recipe, I'll be using 4 since we want to have fun, right? Let's move forward. The next ingredient that we'll be using is chopped basil. You have the option to disregard the chopped fresh basil. You can use other herbs if you want to, but me personally, I want to keep it a bit, traditional-ish pizza flavor, so I'll be using the basil. Moving forward, I'll be using as well thinly sliced onions just because I like onions. The second most important ingredient, of course, grilled chicken breast. As you can see, guys, my grilled chicken breast is already sliced and diced. So just so you guys know, the marinade that I used for my grilled chicken breast is salt and pepper and a little bit of soy sauce. You can follow that or you can just use salt and pepper so that you'll be managing your sodium if ever you are. So the reason why I added a bit of soy sauce in the grilled chicken breast is to add a bit of more umami in our pizza. Moving forward, the quick and easy Del Monte Italian pizza sauce. For me, guys, this is probably the best option for this recipe. One, it's because it's very affordable. Two, compared to other pizza sauces available commercially, this one has a lower carbohydrate content. Now, let's build it up. The first thing that we need to do for this recipe is that we'll be adding the pizza sauce in our chopped chicken. And there you go. So after that, we're gonna mix the pizza sauce in the chicken. So what I like to do, I'll just be using 2 spoons and just toss everything together. Okay guys, after integrating the pizza sauce with the chicken breast, the next step that we need to do is we need to reheat this chicken and pizza sauce combination. You can either use a microwave, oven toaster, or oven, or you can just reheat it in a pan. For the purposes of this recipe, I'll be using the microwave to make things faster. By the way, guys, just in case your chicken breast is freshly cooked, I would still recommend reheating the entire thing so that when you do put it on top of your pizza later on, it's still gonna have this good moist consistency. Okay guys, step 3, toast one side of the pita. So the reason why we did that is because the toasted side is where we're going to incorporate and assemble all the ingredients. So the reason why the toasted part is important so that it won't be soggy while we're assembling everything. Next step, my favorite step, is basically assembling all of the ingredients together. So let's go. The first thing that we're going to add in the crust is our pizza sauce with chicken breast. So this is going to be our first layer. The next step that we're gonna do here is going to flat and even everything out so that we have a nice even surface for the pizza. So what I like to do, as you saw earlier, I basically put all of the chicken breast in the middle of the pizza, after which I push everything out. It's much easier that way. So, as you can see guys, toasting the pizza beforehand, at least just one side, is very important because as you can see, the first layer is very thick, very heavy, and very saucy. So it's important to have a toasted base so that it won't be soggy, as I've said earlier. Alright guys, next step is we'll be adding the Bega cheese. As I said earlier guys, you can use as many slices that you want. But for me, I think the standard if you're going to be using a 12-inch pita is at least 3. So guys, there's no strict technique on how you're going to do this. Have fun. But for me, what I like to do is that I take the cheese square or slice and I rip it apart into 3s. As much as possible, like such. And then I rip it apart again so that I have smaller squares. After which, I will use the smaller squares to put in the pizza. What I like to do is I want to start in the crust first, going around up until I end up in the middle. The reason why I prefer doing it this way is because if you just slap the entire cheese square in the pizza, it's not gonna evenly melt throughout the pizza. I'm just telling you guys, doing it this way, you'll have the perfect ratio per slice of cheese, chicken breast, and overall pizza experience. Oh, by the way, it's gonna look better also in the pictures. So everyone wants to have like Instagram-friendly food recipes, right? So if you're into that, I suggest you do this also. As you can see guys, this pizza is really cheesy. As I've said earlier, 3 is the minimum, but in this recipe, I'll be using 4 to make it extra cheesy, just like your ex. Alright guys, there you go. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the thinly sliced onions. This is optional by the way, but for my recipe, I think that it actually just, adds more crunch to the already crunchy pizza, which is really fun. Alright guys, as you can see, our pizza is almost done, but we have one more final step before we actually get everything together. So the next step is we're going to go back in the frying pan. We're gonna toast the other side of this pizza, which is the untoasted side. And we're also gonna do a very fancy trick that I'll be showing you guys later, which is optional, but let's just get right to it. So after toasting the opposite side of the pizza, after assembling, I used the torch so that I can basically add more toastiness and so that I could toast also the crust of the pizza. So it looks more of a brick oven style pizza. I'm trying to somewhat copy or emulate the look of the pizza wherein there's a bit of more charring, there's more toastiness, so that's why I used the torch earlier. But if you don't have a torch, by the way, you can just cover the pan and turn off the heat after the toasting part so that the residual heat inside that pan would melt the cheese on top. So that's another option if you don't have the torch. After torching, that's where I added the diced basil for the garnish, also the flavor, and that's basically it. And now we're gonna cut it. I don't have a pizza cutter, I'm sorry. I'm too cheap to buy that shit. And boom, that's it. Look at that pizza, guys. Looks pretty good to me. So, after slicing, guys, you can eat it as is, or you can add hot sauce if you want to. But for me, I like adding a bit of more chili flakes since I like spicy foods. Alright guys, that's my high protein pizza. We'll put the macronutrients and calories here. And this is the macronutrients and calories per slice here. So let's start and dig in. Oh yeah, baby! You know what's better, guys, than eating good pizza? Eating guilt-free pizza. It's like stealing and getting away with it. It's so good, guys. I really urge you guys to try this recipe out. You can easily integrate this in any flexible dieting plan that you have. Moreover, you can also use a smaller pita bread if you want to, if you're really tight on your daily caloric intake. But yeah, that's basically the pizza, guys. And that's it for this week's episode. If you liked the video, why not give us a thumbs up? And if you like this kind of content, why not subscribe and hit that bell so you're always updated whenever we upload a new video. And if you have other comments and suggestions regarding this video, this recipe, or future content, just comment below and let us know. As always, it's me, Migo D, your fit friend, reminding you to always eat your protein. Till next time, bye-bye!